a few things I need to do. First and foremost, the letter, the fifth letter, this is the fifth letter I've given to you, is the letter I. I for indigo. I for isolation. I for island. I for... Is it indigo? I think it's indigo, like the... Yeah, I for indigo. So we have... That's 5 letters now. When... It's seagull. No, it's not seagull. So when you feel like you've figured out the word, all you got to do is message me on Instagram, at FrazerBrooksOnline. Message me and be like, I think I've got the word. But understand that once you've sent the word in, that's it. If it's wrong, you're out of the contest. All right. First person who gets the word right will be winning something special. We'll see what that is. So the letter is I. We have 5 letters now. 5 letters. Okay, so now we're going to spin the wheel. Before I spin the wheel, I just mentioned to you guys, for those of you who weren't clear on the last session, I obviously shared with you more about the inner circle. If you need to watch that back again, we will be putting the recordings in the Facebook group under the guides section, like 10 minutes after we're finished with this session. But you can go to workwithfrazer.com, and on that page you'll be able to book a coaching call. It's $50 to secure the coaching call. Even if the coaching call is at the end of next week, even if the coaching call is on Wednesday, the offer of you getting the 12 months access to me will still apply. After this event's gone, once you book the calls after that, that's it. It's basically game over. So, yeah, game over. It's still an incredible offer. You just won't get the access to my WhatsApp, which is a game changer for a lot, but you still have huge breakthroughs by joining me on the 6 workshops, the 6 boot camps, the 2 challenges, the workshops throughout the year on top of that, as well as the weekly clarity calls and the accountability. I promise you this, you won't find anything like it. I just promise you. The inner circle guys know that, but I'm really excited about it. All right, spin the wheel. Time to spin the wheel. All right, so here we go. Good. All right, so the winner is...
We'll be graduating 20 and enroll 15.
Spin it like you mean it. I love it. Emma Stevens.
Yeah, we graduate again.
Spin it like you mean it. Emma 10. Stevens, you are the winner of...
Yeah. They didn't know what teach they had. Should we teach?
All right, Emma, you win a copy of I Double Dare You. We will get it sent out. All you got to do, please, send me an email, info@frazerbrooks.com. Let us know your name and your mailing address so we can get... You say, I want a copy of I Double Dare You. Woo! Yeah! Well done. All right, let's spin it again. Like, why not? Let's spin it again. Okay.
We're supposed to come back that Tuesday. We left Monday.
And the winner is...
Come back that Tuesday. I think we're at 2 o'clock flight Tuesday.
The winner is Sally House. Sally House wins. Wins. All right, Sally. You win $100. So do us a favor. Again, email me, info@frazerbrooks.com. Yeah. Email me, info@frazerbrooks.com. Say, I was a winner. Woo, yeah. Session 3, day 2. My PayPal is sallyhouse@gmail.com, whatever it is. And we will be able to send that out to you as soon as we're done with the event. Hopefully we'll be able to make that happen on the Monday or the Tuesday. All right? So congrats. Well done. You turned up. You're here. Let's get into this. All right. So we're going to kind of move. I'm going to move quite rapidly. You've heard a lot from me today. I think. Yeah, I feel it in my energy because I'm like. But we have 3 speakers back to back to back who have got so much value to share with you. But the next speaker is someone who I'm so grateful to call a friend. And we got to know each other. She's growing an incredible business. I would say that she is one of the fastest growing network marketers that I know of in terms of like joined a couple of years ago and has just had this skyrocket success by helping so many people and building such a strong culture. And she's just a great human being. And she what I love about it, she says, there's so many things, but she says, this is the only book that people in network marketing need to read in order to get success. And I'm so grateful for that because it takes a lot of time to write a book. And you're always grateful when someone reads it and when they implement it, it makes you even more happy. And when they teach it to their teams, it makes you even more happy. But last year, me and Svetlana were in Dubai in March. We got locked down. And Marcella was over in Dubai at the same time, and she got locked down. And we just happened to be at the same hotel, and we ended up sharing like the whole apartment together for a few days. We had so much fun, and I got to get to know her a little bit more, know what her mission is, understand her personality more, and she's just so focused and committed to becoming the best human, right? To getting her body, her brain, and her bank account all in order, sharing that with other people, and she's helping and serving the industry in so many ways. And for someone who's just recently joined the industry, she is miles ahead of so many people. I'm grateful that she's a member of the inner circle. I'm grateful that she's a friend. I'm grateful that she's going to be a 7-figure income earner, and one day an 8-figure income earner, and potentially a 9-figure income earner inside of the industry and marketing. I'm so grateful to be able to introduce you all to my great friend, incredible rock star, Marcella Verge.
And then they eventually had to close our we had like and then they had a location in New Jersey where we would go and they had
oh my goodness. Thank you so much for just the most gorgeous introduction. I feel honoured, so blessed to be on such an incredible event. And first of all, thank you, Fraser, for putting on the event this weekend. And actually, I just want to take this moment because, of course, everybody's been thanking Fraser as per usual for his contribution to the industry, for his energy, for his love, and everything that he offers. For all of us, me and so many other leaders included, and so many of you guys, but I actually want to take this moment to show some appreciation for Svetlana, because I know for a fact that Fraser is able to deliver as the man that he is today for so many people and give his energy out on an ongoing basis continually because of the woman that Svetlana is in their home. And there is no truer quote or statement than, every king needs a queen. So thank you, Fraser, but also thank you, Svetlana, for your contribution and everything that you do that enables, this sort of stuff to happen too. So yes, I am Marcella Emily, but before I get into some value, well, I hope there's going to be some value, I just actually wanted to be a little bit vulnerable with everyone and share a little bit about me, because of course, Fraser, my hype man, thank you so much for speaking so highly about me. I absolutely adore you, and yes, you are correct. Fraser's book, I Dare You, is the only book that you need to read. I am actually very, very, very dyslexic. I love Fraser's book for 2 reasons. The first reason is the content, unbelievable, simplified, which I absolutely love, broken down in such an incredible way, packed full of value. So that's the first reason. But the second reason I love the book is because the font in the book is really big, which is good for somebody like me who hates reading, because it made my life as a dyslexic human a lot easier. So thank you very much, Fraser. So, for everybody listening, I just want to get a little bit vulnerable. And I want you all to actually know that the girl that you see me as today, the woman that I've just been described as, she's the level 10 version of me. But I actually want you to know that the woman that I am today was not the girl that I was in 2016 when I started on this big mountain quest to, become a successful female entrepreneur and a business owner. Over the last 5 years, it has been an absolute roller coaster. I've been through rejection, tears, frustration. Maybe some of you can resonate with some of those feelings. I've had to work really, really hard to become the best version of me and the woman that you see in front of me today. Today I am healthy. I am full of gratitude because I'm wealthy, I'm happy, and I've found so much fulfillment in what I do. Today, I'm a record-breaking network marketer. I've been able to make some amazing life choices because of this industry, and I'm eternally grateful. I've been able to become an investor because of this industry. I've been able to, start my own podcast. I've been able to have some amazing public speaking opportunities. I've been able to coach some unbelievable women, within my organization, within the industry, and meet just some of the most incredible people. And truly getting stuck in lockdown with Fraser and Svetlana in the same country, Dubai, in the same hotel at the same time was an absolute blessing. But we all know in life, there are no coincidences. The universe put us together and it was meant to be. So today, you'll probably see a girl who looks quite confident. And she is. You know, I believe today that I'm worthy of what I have and everything that I desire. And I've actually fallen in love with who I am. But for those of you that right now that are maybe lacking a bit of confidence, you feel like you have a long way to go, I want you to know that even if you're seeing me potentially at the top of a mountaintop right now, I started at the bottom. I just made a decision that I wasn't going to stay in that place. I was ready to climb. And my desire and wish for you is that you're ready to climb too, and, you know, climb your own mountaintop, whatever that means to you. So for those of you that do know me, and I know there's plenty of you on here who I'm connected with in some way, you know I'm all about the queens. So shout out to all the guys that are listening. But me, if you know me, you know I am all about female empowerment. So just to shout out to all the queens and the honeys that are listening. But over the last 4 years, you know, of building an online business, I've experienced everything you're currently going through in some way. And I truly know what works when it comes to building an online business. Fraser, credit to you, been a massive part of that. You know, I've had some very wobbly moments over the last couple of years, and you've always reassured me that this is all part of the journey. This is how it's meant to be. There's a blessing, there's a lesson in everything. I've truly learned how to grow a social media following with 0 paid ads. I've done everything organically, you know, and I actually built my online empire around a very busy life. I built my empire to multiple 6 figures, and I actually built it to 6 figures while I was working a busy corporate job. So if you're somebody right now that feels overwhelmed, if you're somebody right now that feels like you're spinning 100 plates, I understand what it feels like. You know, it can be a balancing act at times. I've been through the process, I've lived it, and I just want you to know that you can become whoever you choose to be, because I have become the type of woman that I used to look up to. And the woman that you see today, I've built her from the ground up, little by little, minute by minute, day by day, month by month. I've built her from the ground up. I've had to develop myself. I've had to invest in myself, you know, and I've had to work really hard to get to this point. And you might be wondering how. She's making it sound quite easy. There's a couple of things that I've done, but I'm going to run you through 4 key elements that I believe are non-negotiable for you when it comes to achieving everything that you desire. So when Fraser reached out to me and said, Mars, do you want to speak on Success Summit again? I was like, yes, of course. And he said, Mars, what do you want to talk about? What's your title going to be? I said, I think my title is going to be Nobody is Going to Save You, because it's factual and it's a truthful statement, and they just really aren't going to save you. So I'm going to get straight in with the first point, the first element that I want to talk about. So number 1, to claim the success that you desire, you have to understand that nobody is going to save you, and you can be a trier or a decider. So there's 2 types of people, I believe, in life and in this industry. Person number 1 joins the industry and they say,
my mother died a
I'm going to give it a go.
Time ago.
I'm going to join and see what happens. I'll give it a try. And then there's person number 2 that comes into the industry and they say, I will do whatever it takes to make this work. So you can be a trier or a decider. So my question for you today is, are you here to try, or are you here to win and claim what you desire? Now, again, to be vulnerable, open, honest with you all, I joined the network marketing industry twice. The first time I joined the industry, I joined the industry to try. I thought, oh, I'll join, I'll sign up, I'll give it a go, I'll try. Guess what? I didn't make it a success. Not because of the company, not because of anyone else, but because of me. I joined the industry at that moment to try. I didn't join to win. The second time round, when I swallowed my ego and I came back and I said, I'm ready now, I joined this industry to win. There was something different inside of me. There was something different in my intentions. I joined to win, and I was going to do whatever it goddamn took to win and make it happen. And I remember this moment so clearly.
Yeah, my wife and I went.
I was sitting in Croydon Travel Lodge. If you know the one, it's not the most glamorous place in the world, and I was working my corporate job at the time, and I looked at the company compensation plan that I joined, and I looked at the screen and it looked like algebra. It didn't make much sense to me. But what I did understand was that if I got to rank X, I could earn $500,000 on an annual basis, and I'd get some extra perks and bonuses too. In that moment, I made a decision. It was going to happen. I didn't know how. I was sat in my unicorn pajamas with my socks tucked in, freezing cold, eating some sweet and salted popcorn. Not much has changed. But I made a decision in that moment that I was going to win. I was joining the industry to claim that rank because that's what I wanted. I had 0 business partners. I hadn't had any success yet. I'd only been signed up for an hour, but I made a decision in that moment to win. And if you're struggling to go all in and make that commitment to win, my question to you is, who else needs you? Friends, family, children. Someone needs you to rise.
And that put me in a
sticky
situation because my wife's mother been staying with us for the last
I'll be honest, when I joined and I made that decision to win, I did it for me because I had a burning desire inside of me to secure my future and rise as an independent woman. I didn't realise in that moment how many other people's lives I could positively impact. So my question to you is, are you going to be a trier or a decider? You know, triers, they usually quit at some point, but winners, they never, ever, ever quit. So maybe they're crazy over the platform. Are you going to be a decider? Or are you going to be a trier? I'm going to leave that one up to you.
Marriage and now she's coming
Next thing I want to talk about is social media. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone's got a device in front of them, right? Now, social media can be your best friend, or it can be your absolute worst
or other daughter in New York.
So it's your choice, but either way, once again, nobody is going to save you. Scrolling randomly on Facebook or Instagram, it's not going to make you the money. It's too easy to get in the social media scroll hole. Let's get real for a second. It's easy, isn't it? Just go to the toilet, take your trousers down, get out your phone, you look at your phone. 10 minutes later, you look down, 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, your pants are still around your ankles and you've been scrolling on social media and you haven't done anything productive.
You could stay
and you've still got your trousers around your ankles and you haven't made any money. It's easy to get stuck in that scroll hole. You need to be disciplined with your time on social media. It is the most powerful tool you could ever have if you use it the right way. Spend your time on social media making money, building your business. Use social media to have new conversations and new connections. You have to bring some awareness to yourself. Are you consuming everyone else's content? Yes or no? Or are you spending time creating content? This is my tip for you today. You want to consume less, and I would write this down. You want to consume less, you want to compare less.
Are you married?
You want to create more content, you want to create more conversations, and you want to create more income. There are lots of downfalls to social media, but if you use it the right way, it will positively impact your life.
Where they're living.
Beyond belief. You will never run out of people to share your business with.
Oh, okay.
You'll never run out of people to share your products or services with if you use it right. Okay. It allows us to connect with people all over the world. Now, with social media, you just have to work out who you are and what your message is. You need to build a brand around who you are and attract people to you as a person. You do not have to pretend to be somebody that you're not, but you need to be confident enough to build a brand around who you truly are. Be authentic. The best thing you can ever be is yourself. You need to build a tribe around that. Now, if you can attract people through your content, you will actually be able to talk to people. And then ultimately what you can do is you can turn those conversations and those connections into business partners or customers. Now, the more engaging your social media is, the more people watch, the more they're going to want to talk to you. Conversations can lead to commission. They won't always lead to commission, but they can lead to commission. They can also lead to product sales. But to be able to attract those people to you, you have to give them something to watch, something to look at. I have gone from the girl with no social media influence to someone who has built influence. I want to talk about something, and I'm really passionate about this. Having 100,000 followers on Instagram does not mean that you are going to be successful in network marketing.
In Minnesota.
What really matters is how engaged your followers are, how much interest they actually take in you, and how much they care about what you're saying. Now, hopefully, something is going to appear on the screen. Woohoo! There it is. I wanted to show you what can happen to your social media if you are consistent, if you show up with energy, and if you build a brand the right way. So on the left, that is a screenshot from my Instagram in November of 2017. And to the right is something from my Instagram in 2020, around the same period, 3 years on. And that is the difference in my engagement. So I've gone from, 50 likes to way over 1,000 likes as an example. Look at the amount of comments, one comment compared to over 100 comments. I've built my Instagram with no paid ads. I don't do any of this fancy stuff. I don't do any of these hashtag this, hashtag that, spending all my time trying to find tips and tricks. Do you know what I've done? I've shown up consistently as me, with passion and with purpose, and I've stayed true to who I am. I have stayed on brand, and I've stayed true to my message. My message is female empowerment. My message is pink. My message is unicorns, glitter, queen emojis. And I've been pretty consistent over the last few years with that message. I know who my niche are, and I'm always talking to them. Social media can be simple if you keep it simple, but going back to what the whole point is here, you have to be disciplined enough to understand that social media is your choice. It can be your best friend or it can be your worst enemy, but nobody is going to save you. Take your social media seriously. If you use your device the right way, then it will be called a smartphone. This here for me is my smartphone,
and then you go
because I use it right and I leverage it right and I make money from it. But some of you listening, the phone that is in front of you, you should call it your dumb phone, because a lot of you are consuming everyone else's content. You're comparing yourself constantly and you're not taking action. Consume less, compare less, create more, earn more. The next thing I want to talk about is building your business with speed. Success like speed. If you've got goals, I would suggest you create some urgency around those goals. Time is now. The time is now. Successful people, they just get stuff done. You're either in the industry to try, like I said, or you're in the industry to win. You know that story, the hare and the tortoise, that we get told about in school or as kids? I don't like that story. Okay, the hare and the tortoise. Let me tell you something. In my opinion, the person that wrote the hare and the tortoise and said that the hare's not going to win the race and the tortoise will win the race was probably someone that lacked urgency and drive. Trust me, if you want to grow, you need to create energy and create momentum. And you need to create a movement, right? And that's going to take energy and it's going to take speed. And finally, the next element that I want to talk about is a bit of a secret of mine, actually, and I'm going to share it with you all today. So I get described as motivated. He is so motivated. That's what they say about me. I'm going to let you into a secret. I'm actually not motivated. People describe me as motivated, but I'm actually not. But let me tell you what I am. I am disciplined. If I have made a commitment to someone, my organization, the people that I coach, no matter how I feel, trust me, it will get done. I am not a motivated person all the time, and you do not need to be motivated all of the time too. But let me tell you what you need to have. Discipline. Discipline is everything. Because if you can be disciplined, you can then be consistent, and consistency will lead to commission. You are not going to be motivated every single day. That's okay, but you must learn to be disciplined. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. And those of you that follow me on social media, I sing that, I talk about that all of the time. Motivation will get you going, but discipline will keep you growing. There's the dollar signs. And my top tip here is, there they are, there's the dollar signs falling from the sky. So my top tip here is you need to incentivize yourself based on being consistent. This is my top tip. Please write this down. This is a light bulb, a breakthrough. Honestly, I promise you. Incentivize yourself on being consistent. How about, instead of saying, I will treat myself to a new pair of shoes when I hit X rank or make X money, why not try saying, I'm going to treat myself to a pair of shoes when I've been consistent with my income producing activities every single day for 30 days or 60 days. Swap it round. Incentivize yourself based on being consistent. Consistency will triumph anything and anyone and everything. And discipline is about choosing between what you want now and what you want the most. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. A lack of it is going to lead to a failure. I promise. In anything. Let me explain. If you're not disciplined in the gym, you won't go to the gym. You won't make gains. If you are not disciplined in your relationships, people will start to disrespect you. If you're not disciplined in your business, you won't get the results that you desire. It is the foundation where all success is built. And discipline is the strongest form of self-love. And I preach this all the time. I preach it all the time. And this is my question for you today. Do you love yourself enough to give yourself everything you have ever wanted in life? Do you love yourself enough to give yourself everything you have ever wanted in life? 4 years ago, I was the girl who lacked confidence. She didn't know who she was. She had next to no followers on Instagram, as you've seen, and she had a very long way to go. Today, I am a completely different person. I'm a different businesswoman, and I've actually become the type of woman who I used to look up to and wish that I was like. I became the inner queen, and everybody has got an inner queen inside of them. You have just got to let her come out and let her shine. I've worked on my business, but I've also worked on who I am on the inside. I've lost a hell of a lot of people. People have trod on me, who I have moved mountains for. I've lost people. I've seen things I never thought I would see, but I've connected with some of the most amazing people on the planet, and I am so grateful to have some of the most incredible people a part of my life now. You know, if you lose someone or something, it means that it wasn't truly meant for you, and there's something else coming your way. It takes courage and it takes discipline to be prepared and to climb the mountain, because mountains aren't easy to climb, but they usually have a beautiful view when you get to the top. Now, this is not about becoming an overnight success. There is no magic trick. But if you take action off the back of this training, if you're consistent, if you tap into people like Fraser, if you're disciplined, you can genuinely create the life of your dreams. Please do it for you, because nobody is going to come and save you. You deserve it. The people who you love deserve it too. And I want you to know that if you don't believe it already, I believe, and I know that Fraser believes, you are already worthy of the success that you desire. I know this event is going to be a real turning point for some of you that are listening, and you don't even realize yet. And some of you that are listening, well, guess what? In a few years' time, you may be sat on this side of the screen, and I am, speaking in front of thousands of people, sharing your message. And what a beautiful thought that really is. And I can't wait to watch whenever that may be. So once again, I just want to give a big shout out to Fraser and Svetlana again for an absolutely amazing event. You know, the two of you are incredible humans. As people, you are incredible for the industry. You lead with so much love and enthusiasm, and I want to thank you for always being at the end of the phone whenever I just needed a reminder or someone to tell me that, Marcella, it's all going to be okay and this is part of the journey. So that's it from me. See you all very soon, I hope. Sending you all so much love.
Wow, my coworker would tell me, Peter, you know what you ought to do, right? You gotta go to Walmart, get some stuff and fix it. So after a while, so I'd always look for hotels that had, yes. So my favorite hotel was Residence Inn.
Such a tune, man. Such a big tune. Marcella, you were incredible. Absolutely incredible, as always. You're looking great, your energy's great, your content's great. And you can probably see, guys, why she's going all the way to the top and taking a lot of people with her. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let's kind of keep this show moving, right? You guys getting value so far today? I've got much for you.
Where is it closest Walmart? Because this is like 2001.
Compare this day so far to yesterday. Have you preferred day one or day two? Just give me a number, 1 or 2 in the chat. I'm just curious, right? Because every day will get different. Every day will get different tips. Every day you'll get different breakthroughs. Every day you'll be like, ooh, 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 right? And usually the bingo moments for you are the things that you need to hear right now, right? It's usually the case. Usually the bingo moments you hear are the bingo moments you need right now. A lot for 2. It's hard to choose. Both. Day 2, day 2, day 2. 12. Someone said 1 and 2, I guess. Both. Pete says awesome. Both days fabulous. Too hard to choose. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. I love it. It's like comparing apples with oranges. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Hard question to ask, right? Hard question to ask. And you know what? It's going to get better and better and better. That's my guarantee to you. Okay, so next speaker is one of my best friends, not just in the industry, but now he's become one of my best friends in life in general. And I get to speak with him probably every day, maybe 5, 6 times a week if it's not every day. I've shared the stage with him all over the world. He spoke at my events many, many times. I did a generic event in Australia, and instead of deciding just to have my name on it, I decided to have both of our names on it. We've done a mastermind together. We've been literally all over the world.
So one of my checks.
He's someone who I collaborate with a lot. There's books that we've talked about collaborating with as well. He's the best-selling author of a book called The Game of Networking and The Game of Conquering. He was the former top recruiter of over a million people. He was the former top recruiter of that company. And recently, he asks me a lot. He says, right, you're married, you're living together, everything's going in the right direction, it's time to have kids. The guy's got 4 kids. And he's like, when are you going to have kids? And I say, mate, I'm going to get the snip. I'm going to get the snip. Like, I always joke with him. Like, I'm going to get the snip. Like, it's not something I want right now in my life. Like, it's not happening. And he said, it's funny you say that because I've got my snip booked in. And I did booked in. He said, yeah, I'm getting the snip. This was a few weeks ago. I've not heard about it since. And he told me before, he said, man, I'm going to share the story. Like what went through. Now, I'm going to give you a word of warning. Rob, when he speaks at Success Summit Online stage, he knows that you guys are here for a good time. So please, give him some love as he shares the story and the lessons that he's learned by hanging around with leaders all over the world, with the masterminds that he's been doing all throughout the US right now. He's one of my best friends. He's incredible. We're lucky to have him for his 4th or 5th Success Summit appearance. The person who spoke at more events than anyone else apart from myself at my event, Mr. Rob Sperry.
And the policy was if it's 4 hours earlier, I fly. If it's 4 hours or more, I should fly.
I've just been studying this book.
Dallas.
It says I dare you, but I interpret
either
it
one.
as
Dallas was 4.
Become a Legend by rock star Fraser Brooks. Hey, I'm just so excited to be on here. I get to collaborate, chat, work with, talk with on a daily basis with one of my best friends in the whole world. And Fraser's just such a good human being. He radiates that energy. We'll get into that a little bit later. And so I'm super, super honored to be on here. This is my 4th time, Fraser? I think this is my 4th time with Success. I'm pretty sure. So I've done 2 of the regular events and then 1 virtual and then this one. So this is the 4th time. It's a lot of pressure, right? But pressure and privilege. So we're going to talk today about lessons learned from masterminding with some of the world's top network marketing leaders. And being able to travel and speak in 18 plus countries and be able to work with so many different leaders, I get to capture some of the very, very best insights in their perspective. But with that said, many of you have heard my story before. I know some of you brand new. You haven't heard my story before. We're going to save a lot of that for another time. But the short version is I'm the guy that's naturally an introvert. I say naturally because you can be whatever you want. I'm the guy that naturally, as I came in, I was so scared I wouldn't even go to my neighbor's house without my younger brother. He was 2 years younger than me. That was my style. That was my personality. That was my shyness. So this profession and industry was the last thing that I thought I would ever do, let alone now transitioning into being a generic coach where I public speak That was my greatest fear. I thought, there's no way. So I share that with you, and I always like to just share a brief version of that, even though we're not going to go in depth, because
the experience I had,
I've been there. I've been the person that just felt like I had the worst personality or style to make this thing happen. But if you follow the strategies that are taught throughout this event, you can do it. You may go a little slower than other people. I did, but as I am talking, as I am training, the best form of engagement is just those comments, those type of interactions that brings the energy and the fire and the excitement and all the other good stuff as we go. So please engage throughout. Let me know some of your biggest insights. But one of the things that you always have got to start with are stories. So I told you a little bit about my story. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I became the #1 recruiter after 1 million distributors, blah, blah, blah. That's like the success highlight reel, speaking in 18 countries, 5 books. What people don't hear is my 5th month in network marketing, I worked 80 hours a week, and I made less than $400 for the month. I could have made minimum wage anywhere, and I would have been filthy rich compared to that. I made absolutely nothing, right? Think about that. So when people are like, I just don't know if it's working for me. Yeah, that's difficult. That's typical. That's what we all go through. It's called the bridge of tears. So we got to start out with a story. And knowing Fraser and how fun and funny and insightful he is, I'm going to share an inappropriate story that, it's not too inappropriate because it's a real life story, that I wouldn't share anywhere else. I just always feel honored because with Fraser, I feel like even more so I can just be myself and have fun, and the things that I shared with him probably 8 or 9 months ago, I can share with all of you. So we're going to talk about the scariest moments of my life recently. Now, some of you are like, what happened? Is everything okay? Oh, we're going to talk about what happened. So I've got 4 kids. My compensation plan is maxed out. I started on the network marketing profession, and they said duplication, blah, blah, blah. So I went from 2 kids to 4 kids. I followed the duplication model. But my comp plan is maxed out. So in order to make sure that the comp plan is maxed out and we don't create any more width, right? 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, what do you have to do? Well, what you have to do is, and trust me, this is all going to relate. This training's going to relate. You got to go with this story, okay? I went and got a vasectomy. So as I went and got a vasectomy, it pains me to even say that word. Like, it's like, I can't even believe it. Like, as I'm getting snipped, I've got all these people that are like, oh yeah, you're getting this snip? Like, they're just laughing about it. Like, it's the funniest thing they've ever heard, and it's like some gang sign or something. Like, I'm part of the club now, right? Like, Scroty's part of the club now, getting snipped. And I'm over here like, I'm serious. Like, I am freaking out. Like, I'm pretty cool, calm, collected about stuff. I am freaking out. The whole when I teach you to manage your emotions, and the highs are higher than we think, and the lows are lower than we think, and just to discipline the disappointments and stop thinking worst case scenario. Yeah, everything I'm teaching, I'm going through the exact and complete opposite. This is so embarrassing. So yeah, I've heard it's a simple surgery. Everyone's like, you're going to go in and it's going to be a simple surgery and you're just going to do this little like snip. And I'm thinking in my mind, snipping me down there? Like, are you kidding me? There's no way. So as they're trying to make me feel better, I did the worst thing I could do. I went on to Google, right? This is what people do. And I looked at some of the worst case scenarios. And some of them are just, they are just bad. Like, some of these people are just never back to whole. So I'm sweating as I'm looking at this. And my wife's just laughing. Like, she thinks it's hilarious. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Well, she said it's going to be fine 3 times. Anytime she says fine 3 times, usually that's the panic button. So in my mind, I'm trying to be like tough guy, cool, calm, collected, but I'm freaking out. So what happened is I just reverted back into this worst case scenario to the point of, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I got this guy just, downstairs, and he's going to give me this snip. Like, what if he's got hairy knuckles? And I don't know why. Some of you are like, what is that? I don't know. Like, just in my mind, I'm like, no. I'm like, what if after I should say this, but what if after I'm shooting blanks? Like, are you, like, what's going to happen? Are you kidding me? This is a network marketing thing. Just go with it. So I'm freaking out about it. So as I'm freaking out about it, you know, I'm thinking, well, maybe there's going to be some good news, and I can, you know, tease my wife just a little bit, right? Those of you see my wife, she's like 10 times better looking and better human being than I am. So as we go through this and I show up, it's one of those things where I had this big hope that it was going to be like this hot nurse so I could tease my wife, but it wasn't. I show up and it's a guy. So I text my wife and I'm like, bad news. She's like, what? Everything okay? I'm like, it's not a hot dog. It's some dude. She's shooting these laughing emojis, ha ha ha, like you deserve it, blah blah blah. And then on top of it, I'm in this room where it's absolutely freezing, so I'm feeling even more insecure. We're not even talking about what Colt does. Fraser shared some of those stories before you heard them. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like this is like so just absolutely freezing. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm going through this worst case scenario. As I go through the worst case scenario, and it's absolutely freezing, and I'm a little bit more insecure. Then what happens? Right after they tell me that, I say smooth like a couch, because I don't know if you knew this. On top of it, they do a little shaving for you. So that's a super fun process. Like, you don't know if you haven't been through this, and if you have been through this, and you tell me it's not that bad, I'm telling you, it's way worse. It's way worse. So the aftermath is, smooth like a couch. They charged me $1,100 to get $1,100 US dollars to just like spend 10 minutes to cutting. Well, I'm done, right? And then the doctor's like trying to all joke around, and
all the seniors didn't come in.
Joking around.
Most of them stayed home.
I'm still thinking worst case scenario. And as I'm thinking worst case scenario, right, I'm like the mindset coach. Give me a break. I'm being a little bit vulnerable here. My face is probably turning red. Mm-hmm. He's like, sir, you look like you're going to pass out. Drink this Coke. I'm like, I'm not really drinking. He's like, you're drinking this Coke. So I drink the Coke, and then I go out to the car, and Janae is laughing. She's like, oh, like, how was it? I'm like, don't talk to me. She's like, ha ha. I'm like, I'm serious. Do not talk to me. I'm drenched in sweat. I don't sweat very much. I'm drenched in sweat, just again, still thinking like worst case scenario, like what's going to happen. And then like 2 or 3 minutes, it went away, but we're not done yet. Then I get home, and as I get home, the kids ask me, of course, like, what do you tell your kids? What do you tell your 6-year-old? He's like, Mom, why does Dad have ice on his balls? Like, what am I supposed to say? Because I had a vasectomy. And I'm like, well, why did you need a vasectomy? Because Mom and Dad still have sex. And you don't want to have more kids. Like, what am I supposed to tell a 6-year-old? A 6-year-old doesn't understand any of this stuff as we go. So I will say this because we got to find some positivity in this. I'm going to give you some lessons here. I was wearing a mask. That is the only thing. I mean, I felt like because I could conceal my secret identity. That was one of the huge advantages of COVID, because I am the person that likes to look for, the positivity and everything. But the aftermath of this, they made it seem like the first 40 hours you couldn't do anything. Like, it was like so scary, like you just can't even fart. Like, I mean, that's like next level scary. Then I pull the bandage off, like freaking out. It's like the tiniest little thing you've ever seen. I felt so stupid, I couldn't even believe it. But then they tell me you got to wait 7 days, right? Before you have any little activity going on. So if we're gonna be personal here, I waited 5 days. Because I wanted to feel like an overachiever, if that's what we say. I know it's getting pretty personal as we go. Like, some of you are just like, wait, what? What happened? Trust me, we're going to go through this. It's all about, this is all going to relate and connect. So this is what I did. This happened July 1st, 2020. I said it just got snipped, or may or may not have gotten lightheaded after. I had many fears, blah, blah, blah. It's the short version. And it shows the photo of my son. Like, this was right after when he was asking me, and I was on the couch there. So, fun times as you go through it. Those of you that are guys, I hope that you have to go through this sometime. I will tell you that I think the women, especially the women that have had babies, I think that they secretly think it's hilarious, and they think that we deserve to feel this pain. So they want us to feel this pain and this fear because we're such babies compared to them. So secretly, not even secretly, outwardly, I think my wife was just like, this is awesome. Like, that it was just so hilarious, like joking around, telling her friends, making all these jokes and different things like this. And I'm over here like a nervous, having a meltdown, nervous wreck as I go. So, it was fun. So some of you are like, well, how? Network marketing is a lot like getting snipped, okay? Now all the time I'm going to see these little snipped emojis anytime somebody comments on any of my posts as we go. But we all have fears. We all have insecurities. Most of us focus way too much on the worst case scenario. It's like in your network marketing business, like what if I don't make it in the next 3 months? What if, the big leader I have on my team ends up quitting? What if, I run out of people to talk to? What if? We focus so much on these huge, massive insecurities and fears. And as we focus on these insecurities and fears, what happens is we project those and we focus more on the problems rather than the solutions. That's why I always say mindset leads skills and systems for breakfast. It will. That's why it's so important that you do personal development on a daily basis. That's why I'm so proud of you for investing in yourself in Success Summit, because this is absolutely key and critical to your success. But as Fraser will do, like he does a little walk, right? You're just going to go in circles if you're just learning. And that's why he teaches you 1 foot forward where you learn and then you take action. I love it. I tell people it's instead of learn, action, it's learn, action, learn, action, implementation, right? Action. And so the biggest thing, if you take anything from all these incredible strategies and everything, that's supposed to give you confidence. But you're still going to have to reach out to brand new people no matter what you do, no matter how good you get at social media, no matter how much, right, you're making the greatest posts ever, no matter how much better your scripting gets or what you say. All of this is to bring your confidence so that you can go out and you can talk to more people. We're just trying to help you be more effective when you do that, and we're helping you so that you do it more often. So yes, we're going to talk about lessons learned from masterminding with some of the world's top network marketing leaders, because this is something that is absolutely key and critical. One of the ways to have success is learn from other people, learn from their mistakes, learn from their failures, learn from their successes as well to go. So number one, and I really thought throughout this, I thought about this specific, I've never done this presentation, obviously, right? Like, it's not, who knows, probably never going to do this presentation again and be so embarrassed for the rest of my life. But this is something I really thought about. And this was a topic that Fraser's like, hey, this would be a perfect topic. You're doing all these masterminds and different things, like talk about this. So as we talk about everyone goes through worst case scenarios, I've talked about victims, survivors, and conquerors. So short version of victims, survivors, and conquerors. Victims focus way too much on the past, right? It's like everything that happened that was wrong. It could be like, oh, well, the back office was, off and we had issues with the back office and products were delayed and, I had this person reject me. They're focusing on the past, everything that was wrong, and they fixate on that. The survivors focus way too much on the future. It's someday I'm going to make things happen. I'm committed. I'm not going to quit my network marketing business. That's good, but it's not good enough. It's good, but it's not good enough. You can't say I'm going to go crush it and climb Mount Everest and just say I'm not quitting and climb Mount Everest. Like, not quitting is the first step, but it's not enough. Good, but not good enough. So it should be applauded, but that's not enough. The next step is to get you so that your brain can be trained, retrained to focus on solutions, not problems. So anytime you have a negative thought come to your mind, what I want you to do is this. I want you to write down 3 solutions. I don't care if it's on a piece of paper. I don't care if it's in your phone. I don't care if it's on your laptop. I don't care where it is. Why? Because I want you to train, retrain your brain to work for you rather than against you. Think about that. Train, retrain. Get your brain to work for you rather than against you. And if you constantly do this over the course of a couple of years, I promise you it will change your entire life, not just your business, dramatically. This is the power of mindset. This is the power of your brain can't focus on problems and solutions at the exact same time. It's going to focus on problems or solutions. So you want to get your brain so your brain is focused on these solutions to figure it out, because it's so powerful and so important. Second thing I want to talk about is delusional optimism. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Favorite athlete of all time. Kobe Bryant in his last incredible season that he would, before he got injured with his Achilles heel, those of you who follow basketball, he was shooting lights out. He went through a mini slump during his last great season. To give you context, it doesn't even matter if you understand basketball or not. On average, he would shoot about 35% on three-point lanes. Like, he's shooting three-pointers. That's just far away, okay? If you don't understand, it doesn't matter. You'll understand this concept principle. So he went through this slump where he made about 2 out of 27. 2 out of 27. So he's at whatever that math is, 7, 8%. Really low. That's awful. That's like beyond below average when this guy is one of the top NBA players of all time in basketball. So the reporter goes to him and he says, "Hey, Kobe, what are you going to do to get out of your slump?" You know Kobe. Here's Kobe. He just has this death stare. What are you talking about? I'm not in a slump. The ball just hasn't gone in. Nobody else caught that. I was watching it live. I've never seen an article, never seen anyone else talk about it. What I caught from that is this delusional optimism. This is the reason why he wasn't in that many slumps, because in his mind, he was focused on marrying the process and divorcing the results so much that there was no panic button. For him, he knew what he was doing was right, and that's what I want to do. Is I want to help all of you. Stop focusing on so much on what could happen, worst case scenario, right? With the snip, right? Worst case scenario, shooting blanks, elephantitis. You said that. Fraser, you bring out the best in me, don't you? All these crazy things that could happen, right? Like just scared. Well, we focus on it so much, 90+% of our fears never even happen. So, as you're doing this, you got to go back to the beginning. When you started out in network marketing, you had this delusional optimism. Most of you, not all, but most of you, sponsored more people your first month than you did in your 5th, 6th, or 7th months. Now, I get it. Some of you are like, well, that's because it was my warm circle of influence. It's much deeper than that. It's because you had this delusional optimism. In your mind, you had these hopes, goals, dreams, ambitions, where you thought, oh my goodness, like this thing could be it. This could be my retirement. This could be my financial freedom. This could pay my car off. This could get me out of the job. This could help it where I could do family vacations every year, right? My favorite quote of all time, die with memories, not with dreams. Die with memories, not with dreams. That was my mission. I always wanted to be that great husband, great father, and I knew that it was all about having that time freedom and create those incredible memories, right? So I want you to go back to the beginning. I want you to go back to the honeymoon stage when you were just so excited. I want you to get your hopes up. How many times in this world do people say, hey, don't get your hopes up? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Get your hopes up. And then if it doesn't go like you thought, just learn. The ability to learn how to learn is the greatest ability one can have. Just learn from it. Say, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? What did I do wrong? What can I do better? Constantly be doing that. And you're going to look back in the rearview mirror 2-3 years from now, and you're going to be like, I can't even believe it. So that delusional optimism is so, so important for you to get back to that like you were in the beginning. Because I know at some point you got some friends and family and some people that you know that quit. And that will be our next one. They go into this judgment. And so all of a sudden the pain is so great that now the delusional optimism just drops. And then we go into the infamous management mode. And we stop talking to brand new people and we try to get everyone else to do what we once did. Making sense for you? Number 3. We're studying these top leaders. And going back to delusional optimism, all these things that I say what top leaders do, this isn't that they always do them. It's that they do them more often than the masses. It's not that the top leaders don't go through a victim or survivor mindset. It's that they're out of the victim and survivor mindset more often, and they're in the conquer mindset more often. So I want to make that clarification. Number 3, the fear of judgment is the mother of all fears. Think about it. You remove the fear of judgment, you don't have the fear of success, you don't have the fear of failure, you don't have the fear of missing out, you don't have the fear of inadequacy, you don't have any of these fears. The fear of judgment is the mother of all fears. So the top leaders have found ways to combat the fear of judgment. Their vision, their goals, their dreams, their ambitions are bigger than their fears. On a scale of 1 to 10, my goals, my dreams, my ambitions were at a 10. My fears were at a 9.9. Some days, my fears beat out my goals, my dreams, my ambitions. But overall, the reason why I was able to create the lifestyle I wanted is because that vision beat it out. So you've got to get so crystal clear in your vision and combat that fear of judgment, because people are going to judge you no matter what. Because you go, oh, she's too fat. Oh, she's too skinny. To wear those, tight Lululemon clothes, like she's got to work out 2 hours a day. She probably never eats. She probably only has an apple every day. Right? People just judge you no matter what. Oh, I can't believe you approached me so soon. Oh, how dare you? You approached me on the second or third conversation. I can't believe you took so long. That's what people do. You want to have more success? You got to learn to deal with the fear of judgment. Number 4, we've talked already about this, but you got to get out of management mode and into action. Work in this business talking to brand new people. That could be your people's people or your people. But if they aren't putting in front of new people, you got incredible Facebook groups and Zooms and company stuff, all these systems that it doesn't take that long to plug people in. You plug them into incredible events like this, Success Summit. So yes, it's going to take some time, but it doesn't take that long. We spend way too much time trying to manage rather than leading. That's why the speed of the leader, the speed of the pack. It's so, so important as you're building your business. Number 5, they're coachable. They invest in themselves. It's interesting. I hear all the time people like, hey, when I make a ton of money, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm like, oh my goodness, you realize that the vast majority of leaders, the ones that are the real deal, they invest in themselves. That's why they're successful. Why do you think the greatest athletes of all time, the ones, they're better than their coaches? Think about it. Roger Federer in tennis, greatest tennis player of all time. He still has a coach. No one's better than him. Everyone, the greatest Olympic athletes, they invest in coaches. So if the greatest invest, why don't you? It's a way to cut that learning curve. Yes, part of investing is this, personal development, it's all of it, but doing things like Frazer's Inner Circle, it's like one of the best value things there are in the entire profession. You got one of the greatest human beings, one of the greatest leaders in network marketing that you can talk to on a daily basis. I mean, are you kidding me? Success leaves clues. And this guy is dropping insane amounts of clues and helping to keep you accountable and just absolutely just crush it as you go. This is a big one, this next one. I just love this one, and I think this is a perfect time to talk about it. Leaders have contagious energy. Think about this. If you were to sit down and you were just to study everything about the top leaders you know, let's start with Fraser, for example. You were to study, like, why is this guy so successful? Yes, got to be the real deal. Yes, he's done it. Yes, he's got, incredible strategies and tips. But what's the very first thing, right? The dude is just, we say dude here in the U.S. a lot, right? Well, some of you are like, no, you don't. Okay. I say it more than I should. But he has so much contagious energy. I think he is the best public speaker in all of network marketing, and I've pretty much heard most of them, right? He is the best public speaker. He has so much energy, whether it's alive or wherever it is, so much contagion. People are attracted to that. And then after that, yes, it's your business, it's your products, it's everything else that you can think about. But it was one of the biggest things that I studied. I remember when Fraser and I were both speaking at GoPro, and maybe this is the time when we had the infamous pillow fight. Maybe Fraser, you can show him our pillow fight. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the one I joked about where he had the nipple slip in the photo. He said he was going to pay me back on that, so I'm sure he will. But with that, we were both studying everybody. And the biggest thing is they all had this huge energy. Different versions. Some people are more yellers. Some people are I'm more quiet, right? I'm yelling right now just to sound like a normal human being. But they all exuded a ton of energy in their own way. So leaders have contagious energy. And I listed a bunch of things I know a lot of you have gone through. I mean, exercise. You don't have to do all these things. These are just tips and strategies to help you out. Exercise can make a huge difference. Huge difference. Builds your self-esteem, your confidence, gets the endorphins going. Going to bed. Now you gotta realize what type of person you are. Some people are more morning, some are more late night owls. Celebrate your wins. No screen time. Too many times you let screen time control your day, social media control your day. Like, I want you to set your day. What are the things you want to do in the morning to really make it happen? Positive affirmations, drinking a ton of water, reducing alcohol, controlling those negative thoughts. We talked about writing down 3 solutions. No screen time 1 hour before bed. Let your bed decompress. Like, if you're doing something, maybe it's personal development, or you're unwinding, you're writing in your journal, or you're creating, your task and your focus for the next day. Stop watching the news. People get so caught up and so mad in all these little things that are going on, right? Every single second. Study more personal development. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Eat less refined sugar. Time block. Practice daily gratitude. Every single one of these things I do. Every single one of these things I do as I go through. I'm just telling you, as you're coming out here and as you're looking at building your empire, as you're looking at building your business, I want to tell you this. I want to say, you can do this. And some of you are like, but Rob, like, you don't even know me. Like, how do you know that I can do it? I'm just telling you. I have seen, traveling all around the world, people from all different walks of life have success in all different companies and product lines. Not luck, the real deal. I know you can do this, but you have to marry the process and divorce the results. The results will come. This business is not a marathon, contrary to what many will say. It's my opinion. Nor is it a sprint. It's a lot of short races. There are times to walk, times to jog, times to sprint. And your goal is to constantly make progress. Stop being so hard on yourself. Just focus on creating more progress on a daily basis and learning and getting a little bit better each day. Keep getting those hopes up. Keep failing forward, as John Maxwell says. And I will tell you that it's 100% worth it. 100%. This last year was incredible. Every single time when my kids turn 12 and 16, I get to do this trip with them. When they turn 12, they go with the opposite gender parent, right? We got 2 boys, 2 girls. And when they turn 16, we go with the same gender parent, anywhere they want in the world when they turn 16. And I got to actually hang out with Fraser because my son chose to go to Dubai. We flew first class the entire way there, surprised him. We swam with sharks, sketchy, I know. We went skydiving, sketchy, I know. We rented a Ferrari. That's like for him bucket list. Fraser and Kate and I, my son, we went to the desert and did that whole desert tour. And we went and rode in the little dune buggy 4-wheelers. We also went and did the camels, all of that stuff. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Tallest building in the world, like all these things. Think about that. For me, who cares about the possessions and all that stuff? For you, maybe that's your thing. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it was all about creating the memories. 8 family vacations every single year. What I want you to do is I want you to write down, what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to die for? And now I want you to live for it. Let's reverse it. What are you willing to die for? Now let's live for it. For me, that gives me vision. For me, that gives me purpose. For me, that gives me focus. That gives me excitement and happiness. And it gives me that focus on progress. Because some days I just make a little bit of progress. Other days I make a ton of progress. But I know as I'm constantly think about the analogy of, let's say we're walking towards the sun. Our shadow's behind us. And our shadow would be all of our mistakes and all of our negative guilt and all of our shame. It's just back there behind us. But when we're walking and we're facing that sun, that represents progress. And we're going forward. The second we turn around and we start focusing on the problem, the shadow consumes us and we think we can't do it. You weren't sent to this earth to be average. You can do more. You can be more. And it's time for you to be so sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for you to step into that beast mode. It's time for you to become the best version of yourself. It's time for you to start believing in yourself and truly marrying the process and divorcing the results. It's time for you to figure out what are the top 3 things you're going to execute from Success Summit and start out with number 1 and become laser focused on that and make it happen. I believe in you. I know you can do this. I know you can go to an entirely new level and make this business happen. I just want to say how grateful I am that I've been over there 4 times in a row. I'm always like, every time I'm like, hey, you don't have to have me on. Don't feel bad. But I'm really grateful for the friendship I have with Fraser. I'm grateful for his leadership. I'm grateful for coaching can be a little bit lonely, so it's always fun to be able to have those people you can just trust, share everything with. I'm grateful for this event. It makes such a difference in this industry. I'm grateful for network marketing, for so many of you that I've met, for so many of you that I'm going to meet someday. Let's go collectively make it happen. Go chase those goals, dreams, and aspirations. Get your hopes up. Thanks so much for having me. I hope you found value. Let me know in the comments what was the thing that stood out to you the most, your biggest takeaway. Please don't say snipped. Please.